Hey guys, welcome back to the Megs show. So, I'm going to try to do a weekly review of the Mayans MC. We all know how I am with consistency though, so we're going to try this. I like this show a lot. It probably has to do with the nostalgia that it has towards the Sons of Anarchy. The Sons of Anarchy holds a very, very special spot in my heart just because me and my dad started watching it together, and my dad passed away a couple years ago. So the Sons of Anarchy will always hold a very, very special spot in Megs' heart. So with that said, the Mayans is definitely like the Sons of Anarchy, but it is different and it does have different things associated with it. But it also plays off the Sons of Anarchy in a lot of different ways. So you definitely have the Sons of Anarchy nostalgia everywhere, and you definitely feel Sons of Anarchy when you're watching it, but it's not Sons of Anarchy, if you catch my drift. So yeah. Season one was a little bit slow moving, so mid season's really where it started to pick up. So season two just premiered on FX last night. So we are going to start reviewing season two, episode one, right now. So let's get started. So I made just like plot points while I was watching it so I could just talk about what I thought was interesting about the episodes. That's probably what I'll do during my little review sessions here. I'll do videos at first and maybe decide later on if I want to continue doing videos or if maybe like a live stream would be more appropriate after the episodes. We'll see. They air on Tuesday nights, so we'll see on if people like the videos, if maybe a live stream is more appropriate. See how this goes. So one thing about this episode, or one thing about the Mayans, is that it takes place in Southern California. So I live in Arizona, so it hits home because the surroundings are my surroundings. And it's constantly talking about local cities that I know of, I've been to, so I can definitely relate. I can relate to this show very well. These are my people, these are my towns, these are the local things that I have to deal with. And they're talking about my problems, these are my surroundings, my cactuses, my dirt, so it's kind of cool because I know everything that they're talking about. I know these places, so it's kind of cool. So that's one reason why I like this show so much, is because I can connect with all these places and I know all these places that they're talking about. Like in this episode alone, they were talking about Tucson and Santa Rita and Tempe, and they're constantly crossing over to Mexico and yeah. So I just think that's kind of cool. And but yeah, so the Mayans takes place and they live in Santo Padre. And in this episode, we come back after season one. And we know that the Galindo family has just gotten rid of the second in command, which was the old family friend that had been with them forever, and that was what was his name? Devante. So they just got rid of Devante to make ties with Adelita, and she's the leader of the Lost Souls, right? So they're together now, and it turns out that she's pregnant. And at first I was thinking that it was Angel, which is the main character, Ezekiel's brother. Ezekiel's the prospect. And that's kind of like this group's is Jax, right? Is the prospect, Ezekiel. Or Easy is his nickname. And so at first I'm thinking it's Angel's kid, right? Because last season they kissed and they kind of had a thing going on. But so that's my first initial thought. That is Angel. Angel's the baby daddy, right? Because she's pregnant. So that's the first kind of scene you get, is that Adelita's pregnant. Okay. All right. So then it goes on. Okay. And then we see a little fight scene where, the Potter's little man force. Potter's like the Rico guy that was in Sons of Anarchy. So So Rico is back. So that's a little tad bit from Sons of Anarchy that we get back. Rico never went away. That guy. Hate that guy. He's back. So, I mean, you do get characters for Sons of Anarchy. So you get the nostalgia back, which is cool. So he sends a little Rico case to try to find Adelita, and of course it's a setup by them. But in the meantime, they get Adelita's little mouse, and they're gonna torture this little kid. Seriously, I know she's supposed to be a soldier, but come on, that's still a little kid. So the Mayans decide that's not gonna happen, along with Alvarez, because Alvarez is back. So that's cool. You get Alvarez back because he's a gangster. So they decide not to do that, but one of them comes in through the door and easy saves Alvarez. That was cool. My notes crack me up. Another thing in this premiere episode of season 1, you get a guest appearance by Happy. That's right, Happy from the Sons of Anarchy. Oh, and Chucky. Chucky's in the Mayans. Chucky is a normal regular on the Mayans, so you get to see him and his crazy little puppet hands. You know, I got a soft spot for puppets. So I definitely like that conversation with Chucky. So Happy comes out, and you see Happy selling guns. Like, what the... Spoiler alert, earmuffs, if you haven't seen the end of Sons of Anarchy. So Chucky goes, what the hell? He doesn't say that because Chucky doesn't do that. But he's like, Happy, I thought Jax wanted Sons of Anarchy out of the gun business. And Happy's like, oh, well, shit happens. Come on, Happy. Jax died for that. Shame on Sons of Anarchy. These years, I think it's supposed to take place like 4 or 5 years after Jax's death. But yeah. Yeah, then they have like the whole dirtbags and the pigs moment in there, which I thought was funny, you know. So they got the cute little nostalgia moments in the Mayans. So if you liked Sons of Anarchy, I would recommend watching it because it's directed by Kurt Sutter, so it's the same writer-director. So if you like Sons of Anarchy, you'll like the Mayans. I initially didn't like watching it on the weekly basis. Just because it was slow moving at first. So I had a lot going on when it first came on, so I didn't initially get into it. But while I was on recovery process, I binged it, and then once I had a chance to actually sit down and watch it and get into the storyline, because it has a lot with the Galindos and all of that. So you start remembering the plot lines with the SOA and their whole problems with the heroin drug cartel, with the Galindos and all of that. So it brings you back and it makes you miss the SOA, and then you get hooked again. So if you liked, I recommend, if you like SOA and you know, well, I would hope, I don't know, I know Kermit's watching this even though he hasn't probably watched it. He usually does that anyways. What else I got here? Another thing I thought was funny in this episode. So it turns out someone's cutting the heroin because people do that to make more money, you know, and just kill people because they're horrible people. Anyway, so it turns out someone is cutting the heroin and it's killing people in the Arizona prison pipeline. So the Mayans have to find out which charter is doing it, right? So they bring everybody together. Turns out it's the Tucson charter that's doing it. I just thought that was funny. Just saying. It's the Tucson charter. No one else? Alright. I just thought that was funny. Yep. But yeah, so back to the whole Adelita being pregnant. And then he spends the whole day, Miguel spends the whole day out of the house when he's supposed to take his mom to the doctor. He promises Emily he's going to take his mom to the doctor. Did he take his mom to the doctor? Comes home. And she's like, oh, did she tell you who the father is? He didn't. He's like, no. Yeah, because she didn't have to tell you because you're the daddy. You're the baby daddy. Yep. And that's all I have to say about that. Yeah. Alright, guys. If you're not already subscribed, you should hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can be notified whenever I upload new stuff. And make sure you hit that thumbs up button, give this video a like, especially if you like the Mayans or Sons of Anarchy, because, you know, toxic masculinity, awesome. And yep, I hope you guys are having a great day and a great night, whatever it is, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day or night. Bye.